Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I just realized I think I need to take Golani sir out for a drink because I either get the session before lunch or after lunch, not the one in the morning or latest. But despite the challenges of it being the first session after lunch, I think while we've talked a lot about design and development in the first two sessions, we come into the meat of the matter of how to operationally employ these systems in various domains, whether it is the maritime domain or in the over the land. UAVs, I think all of us are aware, have evolved over the years. I mean, primarily they started from being pure ISR platforms for surveillance and reconnaissance, and slowly we added ammunition to them to make them armed UAVs. Then also in parallel, you had the design and development of loitering munitions, which could act as a kill vehicle all in themselves, both which could loiter as well as pure kamikaze drones, which were just one-way drones and went and struck the target. These evolved further where you could even recover them, for example, if they could not engage their target. In terms of employability, the initial ones were, with a lot of man in the loop, including for takeoff, landing, and operations. Slowly we started getting better and better autopilots, so the requirement of man in loop reduced. Then we brought in automatic takeoff and landing, so the external pilots slowly started becoming extinct. And thereafter we continued to evolve. They became, with the advent of AI, you could operate them in large number of swarms, large number of birds in one swarm. And today we are at the stage where we are getting into a MUMT or manned-unmanned teaming, where AI is going to start playing a major role, where you'll have manned and unmanned platforms operating together in all domains and for all roles. And slowly, of course, as the world would like us believe, the unmanned will overtake and the manned will slowly get withdrawn. That question remains to be answered. Possibly we can have in the wrap-up session of this session, we can discuss where we are vis-a-vis manned and unmanned, and how important or how unmanned is going to take over the domain or not, which is the question to be answered. We have experts from all the three services. So, I think from all the talks and from the question, it's very obvious that the the unmanned aerial systems are here to stay, and there is no doubt about that. And since this, the entire seminar is based on unmanned aerial systems, I don't want to throw water on the topic or on the theme, but I think we really need to be very careful while moving forward on this balance between manned and unmanned systems. When the Rafale, the Eurofighter, the Saab, they were the 4.5, everybody said that is going to be the last manned aircraft. The next fifth generation came, F-35, F-22, J-35, J-20, all manned. They said this is the last unmanned aircraft. Now all the 6th-gen programs in the world, whether it's the FCAS, NGAD, or the GCAP, all are manned. Yes, with optional manning perhaps thrown in. MUMT programs have been going on for a long time, but there is not one successful MUMT program today which is operationally deployed. So there are challenges, and my key takeaway will be that the unmanned systems will complement the manned systems, but I don't think the manned system is going anywhere. And one of the major issues is that the weight of attack that a manned aircraft can bring. The weight of attack from these LMs, these drones, I mean, you'll need them in thousands for it to attack. If you look at the recent ongoing conflict, the amount of damage which has been done by the West, by Israel and the US, it is using manned and heavy platforms and of course ground surface launch missiles. While the drones and the loitering munitions have had nuisance value, the weight of attack is extremely limited. So I think we need to keep that aspect in mind. And going forward, like I mentioned, niche technologies like AI, etc. are very, very critical. And another aspect that the industry needs to look at is all these drones which we are making in India, the engines are imported. So I think we need to really focus on developing these small engines for these small drones and loitering munitions, because unlike a fighter aircraft engine, I think they are a little easier to achieve and possible within the ambit of the industry. And including sensors and payloads. I think other speakers mentioned this, that there is all the sensors and payloads are coming from abroad. That is another area that we need to focus on in moving forward. And therefore, there's also a requirement to expedite our D&D programs, whether it is with DRDO or with DPSUs. They need to be expedited so that we remain ahead of the curve. And last and not the least is something that the Chief also mentioned. Everybody, you can see all the services, and the Coast Guard is not here, is looking at buying drones and loitering munitions. airspace management is going to be very, very critical in the years ahead. And that is something that we needed to look at not only for UAS, but also for counter-UAS systems. Otherwise, we will have cases of fratricide and not only kinetic, but even jamming each other's systems. So I think there is a requirement to work together to come to a framework where all these systems can operate together and complement each other. Thank you very much.